We're making pastrami bacon today. Now, pastrami was invented in the 1800s as a way to preserve meat before the common refrigerator. We're actually going to use a refrigerator, so it's a real slap in the face to history. We're going to start by making a brine. What the hell is a brine? It's going to help preserve the meat. We're going to start with 3/4 cup of salt, which is going to allow more moisture to stay in the meat while cooking. We've got 2/3 a cup of sugar, which is going to promote browning and flavor retention. We're going to have a 1/4 cup of razzle dazzle, as it has a ton of crazy ingredients that will help jack this flavor into the next county. Then add 1 tablespoon of Anthony's premium pink curing salt. This stops bacteria from growing and preserves the meat, adds a longer shelf life. 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. Use a mortar and pestle, or however you're supposed to say that. I have no idea. Now we want to bring the flavor up more. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of celery seed. You're going to mix this together. This is going to be the base of the brine, what the pork belly is going to be sitting in. Pork belly is what makes this bacon. 3 quarts of boiling water, or you can do 2 quarts of boiling water, and I'll tell you why later. Add the brine mixture or base to this water. Let it dissolve completely. That's why I'm stirring it up. Once it dissolves, you need to let it cool. But what's a great way to make something cool off is add ice or ice water. Instead of having to wait 3 hours for this thing to come to room temp, now we can actually start moving into our injection portion of the pork belly. When we inject the pork belly, it's going to, 1, add that curing salt and flavor inside of it, but it's also going to ensure that it preserves and it turns into that pastrami-like color and taste that you're used to. This is 5 pounds of pork belly. I split it with my friend Ryan Green, who found this recipe online, and we've adapted it to this. Thank you, Ryan. Grab your injector and fill this thing up. Now you notice I used a sieve to strain out all the chunks. I don't want anything jamming my meat injector because this thing costs like $3. And honestly, it's not that great, but it gets the job done. And if it breaks, no big deal, it's $3. Find a giant ass bag. They're kind of hard to find, but apparently Smart and Final has them. Or you can get a brining bag or a brining bucket. And you can submerge the pork belly completely in the bag or in the brining bucket, so that it will take on that color, absorb all of those flavors. And now we're gonna move this into the refrigerator. This is gonna sit in there 5 to 8 days. Careful, if you go 8 days, it can get a little too salty. Okay, 5 days later, take a look at this. It has changed color, a little pink, texture's different. Rinse it off, get all the extra seeds and things like that out of there while we make the rub. 2 tablespoons of coriander. We're gonna take 3 tablespoons of coarse black pepper into our Lodge cast iron pan. And we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of brown mustard seed. Toast it over medium heat. The mustard seed might pop, don't worry about it. Grab 9 garlic cloves. This is gonna take like 6 hours to chop up all this garlic, which I lied about in the recipe description because I think I said prep time is like 20 minutes. Get it all chopped up, add it to a bowl. We're going to season it with 1/2 cup of razzle dazzle. Again, it has so many different ingredients that it adds a really good pop of flavor to the pastrami. The coriander, black pepper, and brown mustard seed has been toasting for about 5 minutes. It's time to grind it up in your mortar and pestle, whatever it's called. I like a coarse grind. You can go for a much finer grind if that's what you prefer. This is your bacon. Do whatever you want. Get 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Mix that in there and mix it well. Let it get wet. It's going to turn into this almost like moist. Take this, just set it aside and we'll use it in a minute. Now, you wash your pork belly, you're gonna pat it dry, and now we're gonna go and remove all the weird looking stuff that you don't wanna eat or you don't wanna look at or taste. Unless you're crazy, then go for it. You can keep all this crazy shit on there. I just wanna clean it up, make it look like store-bought bacon. Now you'll notice we've got it on a metal rack. That just makes it easier to move back and forth from the smoker and create airflow. I don't know what this piece of meat is, but we're gonna cook it anyways. Get French's yellow mustard. This is going to be the binder for the rub that you've already created. Squirt it all over there, rub it in. It's okay, it feels good on you. The pork belly likes it and you're not gonna taste it. Don't freak out if you don't like mustard. Now you can use olive oil if you're worried about it. All that matters is that you rub this thing like you rub your own belly when it's feeling a little full. Now get yourself an ice tray because we're going to cold smoke this. So get your smoker to around 180 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to use mesquite on our Traeger today. The Traeger's easy, it works well. You can also do this on a barrel smoker or an offset. The goal here is really to control the temperature as low as you can go. We want to slowly bring it up to around 145 degrees internal temp because we're not actually cooking this to eat it right now. We're prepping it so we can eat it tomorrow. Now I want to show you that it's not all exactly 145 degrees internal temp. We just want to get close. So let this cool down to room temperature, and then once cool, we will wrap it in cling wrap or saran wrap, whatever it's called. We don't want to wrap it too soon because it can steam, and we're trying to avoid that right now. This is going to go in the fridge overnight so that tomorrow we can thinly slice it and cook some bacon. Rip that shit open, give it a smell. It smells absolutely amazing, just like pastrami. And try to find which way the meat is running through this belly so that you can prep your cuts so we can cook the bacon. Now look at this. There's a little bit of pink going in there from the curing salt. The flavor has penetrated all the way through, and we've got an excellent crust on the outside. Now, cutting bacon into even slices is actually quite challenging, and I tried it with a long strip of pork belly, but it was too hard. So I cut it in half, and now I'm cutting into smaller slices, which actually worked out better as we put this on a burger later on, which just turned out ridiculously good. This bacon is just magic. It's like a piece of pastrami mixed with a piece of bacon, and you can cook it so many different ways. I cooked it like pancetta in a pan, and I cooked it in the oven, which I find is the best way to cook bacon. Get a foiled sheet and then add the bacon slices on evenly and cook it for like 12 to 18 minutes and it's done. It comes out crispy. It's got a nice chew to it. The coloring is perfect. Just look at it. The crust is sitting on top of the bacon itself. It's so good. We made a bacon burger out of this. We did a bacon grilled cheese. That was absolutely unbelievable. The pastrami bacon grilled cheese is where it's at. What ideas do you have for pastrami bacon? Oh, an egg sandwich. Why didn't I do an egg sandwich when I did this? All right, I'll do it next time. Anyways, thank you for showing up today. If you liked what we did, please like, subscribe, and comment below. That lets us know we're doing a good or terrible job. Any feedback's great. Also, if you get a chance, please check out our website, hlmbbq.com. The link's down below. You can check out the seasoning that we use today, which is Razzle Dazzle. We also have another seasoning back rub, and we have a place that you can contact us if you want to collaborate or if you want to be featured in one of our future videos. Don't hesitate, reach out. We love collaboration, and we love cooking, and we love that you showed up. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you in 2 weeks.